This is no longer a shadow conflict. This is open war, and the narrative is already collapsing. The United States has suffered its worst single day of air losses in decades. American personnel are dead, regional bases are burning, and senior US officials are now openly admitting something extraordinary. Washington may not have chosen this war. When even establishment media headlines begin using words like forced into war, the facade begins to crack. According to reporting, Tucker Carlson personally warned President Trump against striking Iran. He outlined risks to US personnel, energy markets, and Arab partners. The president reportedly acknowledged the dangers, but he said he had no choice. No choice, because Israel would strike regardless. Speaker Mike Johnson confirmed it publicly. Israel was determined to act with or without US participation. That left Washington with a binary decision: join the strike or watch events unfold without control. Senator Mark Warner described this as uncharted territory. This is not the language of strategic confidence. It is the language of strategic compulsion. Then came the shock. 3 US F-15E Strike Eagles went down over Kuwait in a single day. Officially, friendly fire. Unofficially, Iran claims the kills. CENTCOM confirmed Iranian aircraft were active in the battle space at the time. 3 aircraft, same operational window, same airspace. The last time the US lost 3 jets in a single day was during Vietnam, more than half a century ago. Each F-15E carries a flyaway cost approaching $90 to $97 million. Fully configured, over $110 million per aircraft. But the financial loss is secondary. The real damage is reputational. For years, Western analysts mocked Russian air defense fratricide incidents as proof of systemic weakness. Yet here, in a single hour, 3 American lead aircraft are destroyed under supposed air superiority conditions. Either Iranian systems penetrated the air picture, or coalition IFF failed catastrophically. Both are unacceptable in a high-end war environment. Then came confirmation of US personnel killed. 6 service members dead following an Iranian strike on a makeshift operations center in Kuwait. No siren, no warning, direct impact. CNN confirmed the trailer facility was struck at 9 a.m. local time. Smoldering wreckage hours later. And this follows earlier Iranian missile retaliation that left 34 US soldiers with traumatic brain injuries, dismissed at the time as headaches. The escalation curve is steepening, dozens wounded, now fatalities, and potentially more unreported. Satellite imagery reviewed by the New York Times shows heavy damage at Naval Support Activity Bahrain, headquarters of the US Fifth Fleet. Drone and missile saturation attacks appear to have overwhelmed local defenses. Video evidence shows Shahed-type drones striking infrastructure with minimal interception. The perception now circulating globally: US regional assets are vulnerable to sustained drone attrition. That perception alone shifts deterrence equations. Iran's weapons-free doctrine. Iran has entered decentralized war mode. Foreign Minister Arakchi admitted regional commanders are operating semi-autonomously, acting on pre-authorized instructions in the event of leadership decapitation. In plain terms, command fragmentation by design. This is a survival doctrine. Field commanders retaliate independently. Centralized control becomes secondary to continuity of resistance. The advantage: unpredictability and resilience. The disadvantage: coordination degradation and escalation volatility. But in a revenge-driven conflict environment, unpredictability becomes leverage. The martyrdom effect. The assassination of Iran's supreme leader during Ramadan carries profound symbolic weight. In Shia political theology, martyrdom is not defeat, it is ignition. A martyred supreme leader killed by the great Satan during the holy month fundamentally alters internal cohesion and global sheer mobilization dynamics. Instead of decapitation paralysis, Washington may have produced ideological consolidation. That is a strategic miscalculation of historic scale. The United States now faces contradictory war aims: decapitate Iranian leadership, degrade strike capability, avoid full regional war, keep oil markets stable, signal strength, avoid prolonged occupation. These objectives conflict. If Iran's command structure is fragmented and operating on standing retaliation orders, even Tehran may lack the ability to rapidly impose a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Washington degrades the very leadership required to negotiate. This is escalation without brakes. Conclusion: 3 F-15Es down, 6 US personnel confirmed killed, dozens wounded, regional naval infrastructure damaged, Iran operating under decentralized retaliation doctrine, senior US officials admitting strategic compulsion. This is no longer controlled signaling. This is a momentum war. The United States must now decide: escalate until Iran's strike capacity is crushed, or accept that decapitation has transformed this into a prolonged regional attrition conflict. Either way, the illusion of a clean, limited strike is over. The war has begun writing its own logic, and that logic rarely favors restraint. Thank you for listening and for taking the time to hear this assessment. I hope this update has helped clarify what is actually happening on the battlefield and given you a clearer picture of the current situation. If you found this useful, please press like and subscribe so you'll receive our updates every time we publish a new one. You can also find us on X, Rumble, YouTube, Substack, and LinkedIn. The details will appear on your screen now. Have a blessed day.